Now, this child will probably be short for you as query skeletal vision. One of the commonest giving a reference, they will write achondroplasia. They will write achondroplasia for everything. So when you see achondroplasia, you will have in mind, oh, they are thinking of skeletal dysplasia. Now, skeletal dysplasia means the entire skeleton is involved. So all the bones will show some finding. Now, if you keep saying all the bones, radiologists become so vast now. We can't keep looking only at bones. We have to look at so many other things. So we'll get a small way of looking at this. So that will help us to come to a diagnosis quickly. Most of the time you will succeed with this sort of algorithm. So how you do it is, you take only a few x-rays. Don't take from head to toe. You'll find that every x-ray has some finding, and you'll be going about like finding like a needle in a haystack. You'll be totally confused. So what you have to do is only take few x-rays. One is pelvis. The second is DL spine, AP and lateral. Third one is both hands AP. Now with this you will come to a conclusion. Sometimes, just one or two times, you need a skull lateral. So with these x-rays, you will be able to come to a diagnosis. Now, the order of seeing it also, you must look at the pelvis only first. Then you can look at the DL spine and both hands. But always look at the pelvis first, because the pelvis will give you an idea of what to expect. And pelvis means not just the flat bones, we also have the upper end of the humerus is involved and upper end of the femur is involved. So you can look at epiphysis, metaphysis, diaphysis. The same changes only are going to be in the other long bones. You can see the flat bones, and you will always get to see a little bit of the lumbar spine that is involved, included in the X-ray. So pelvis X-ray means seeing all these bones. Once you see all this, you will come to a conclusion. Now we'll see how. Now this is just normal for you to compare. Now what is different here? Look at the ilium. Ilium is square, right? Ilium is square. It looks like as if this portion has been cut off. No? So this is the square ilium. Accordingly, you see there's a sharp sacrosciatic notch. The sacrosciatic spine is very pointed. But generally, this is a square ilium. Now, the first diagnosis, I told you, whenever they refer also, they will say achondroplasia. So for this, you see that there is a square ilium. Immediately, the next thing that you have to say is, look at the lumbar spine. Normally, you see that the lumbar interpedicular distance will get widened as you come from L1 to L5. Here, how are they? Are they widening from L1 to L5? Yes or no? No, they are not widening. So it is not normal. So when you see that these interpedicular distances are not widening, they may either lie parallel or they will be convergent. Then you must think of achondroplasia. That's all. With this simple, with just this pelvic X-ray, you have come to a diagnosis of achondroplasia. If you take the skull, there will be frontal bossing, there will be macrocephaly. If you take all these bones, they will show this sort of widening of the metaphysis, shortness, and all that you don't require. All that you need is you've made a diagnosis of achondroplasia. Look at the ilium, look at the lumbar spine. Now here also again, this is achondroplasia for you to compare. Here also you see there is a square ilium. Is the ilium square? No. Now go to the lumbar spine. Is it convergent or is it like this? Is it convergent or is it divergent like normal? It is divergent like normal. So is this achondroplasia? No. So it is something else. Okay. Now we'll have to search for other features. Look at the upper femoral epiphysis. Now look at this child. This child is one small infant, but the upper femoral epiphysis has appeared. And it's not just appeared, not just one small speck. It is nice and round. So early appearance of this upper femoral epiphysis and a round, large epiphysis means this is asphyxiating thoracic dystrophy. That's all. Just go to the next thing. Asphyxiating thoracic dystrophy. Now you need one more feature to confirm. Now asphyxiating thoracic dystrophy means short arms. And depending on how short the ribs are, so much the respiratory distress will be. If they are not very short, the children do grow up even up to the second decade. And then they have pancreatic insufficiency. So see, this is normal. See how far forward the ribs come. See here, they are stopping halfway through. So this is asphyxiating thoracic dystrophy. Again, look at this ileum. Is it? It is square. This is the previous one, asphyxiating thoracic dystrophy. Here also you see that ileum is square. You see the sacroiliac spine is so sharp, just like that achondroplasia I told you. Now go to the lumbar spine. Is the lumbar spine convergent or parallel? They are divergent. So this is not achondroplasia. Now next is asphyxiating thoracic dystrophy. Look at the upper femoral epiphysis. Is it nice and round, or is it just one small thing? Small. So this is not asphyxiating thoracic dystrophy. So now we'll have to search for something. Now look at the medial part of the metaphysis. You see that it is sort of sloping, as if a little bit is cut off and rounded. So the medial metaphysis shows a slope. And then you see that this part is shorter compared to the femur. So there is a mesomelic shortening. And most importantly is, even if this thing is cut off and you see only the pelvis, you must look at this medial slope of the metaphysis. So medial slope of the metaphysis means chondroectodermal dysplasia or Ellis-Van syndrome. Now you must look for more features, because you should always have more than one feature, more than one modality, something that will convince the clinician that this is what he is dealing with. So here with the Ellis-Van you will see polydactyly. Now normal children can also have polydactyly, right? See, some normal children do have polydactyly. Now how will you differentiate between this normal child and this chondroectodermal dysplasia or Ellis-Van crevitis? You look for the capitate and the hamate. You see the capitate and the hamate are fused here. 75% of Ellis-Van crevitis syndrome children will have fusion of the capitate and hamate. Or if they are not fused, they will be placed very close. See, this is normal. Here it is placed rather close. So this is another feature. And also, this is normal chest. You see how triangular it is. And here you see it is ballooned out, then goes in, and then flares out. Bell-shaped chest. So this is again another feature. This is because of short ribs. So even this child will have short ribs. This, you see that there is a square ileum. And look at the vertebral bodies, almost non-existent. They're so flat and extremely short. This is thanatophoric dysplasia. This is a lethal dysplasia. This child is postmortem X-ray or antemortem? See, no air at all. No air at all. But this is a live child. And you see that extreme flattening of the vertebrae. Now we come to we finished with the square ileum. Now we come to a different type of ileum. Again, very classic for one particular disorder. Normal for you to compare. Now, how is it different? You see the lower part of the ileum. It is thin, narrowed, it is hypoplastic, it is tapering like this. See how it should be? It should be, this portion should be at least 1/3 of that portion. See here how this is hypoplastic, and this is mucopolysaccharidosis. Now there are so many types of mucopolysaccharidosis. Everything will have this sort of ileum, and you will not find this ileum in any other condition. So this is mucopolysaccharidosis. And radiologically, we can only differentiate between two Hurlers and Mortlews. How will you see? Now I'm seeing this is a normal hand. And if you see here, how is it different? Long bones should be wide at the ends and narrow in the center. And here you see that there is some narrowing, proximal narrowing. So the proximal parts are hypoplastic. So this is a feature again of MPS. But you see that the middle constriction is maintained, so this is Mortlews. Middle constriction maintained, Mortlews. I was taught by my professor M.M. Now here you see, here also there is proximal narrowing. See, proximally it is very narrow, it is hypoplastic. But the middle constriction is it there or not there? It is not there. So this is Hurler's. Okay? This is Hurler's. This bit of slide belongs to my professor. I'm written, you know. So this is Morque's because middle constriction is maintained. Now you get to see the spine. So always look at the pelvis first, okay? So you see here, this is just normal. This is normal. Here you see that there is beaking, okay? There is beaking. And you see that the beaking is from the middle of the anterior surface of the vertebra. So this is middle beaking, Morque's again, MM. And here you see there is some beaking. And another thing in Morque's is all the vertebrae will show flattening. So in Morque's, all the vertebrae will show flattening. And in Hurler's, not all the vertebrae will show flattening. Only a few in the dorsal lumbar region will show flattening and will show this sort of beaking. Beaking is from the inferior part of the anterior surface. So this is Hurler's. Okay, now you tell me. This is Hurler's or Morque's? Because you saw some beaking. Okay? You saw some beaking and seems to be coming from the inferior surface. Now what was the rule that I said? Which part of the skeleton should you see first? Pelvis. So did you see the pelvis? Look at the ilium. Is it the mucopolysaccharidosis ilium? Look at this ilium. Is it mucopolysaccharidosis? Yes. So this is only MPS. Now, whenever we diagnose dysplasia, it's very important to find out whether we are dealing with some treatable condition. Some treatable condition you will say this is dysplasia, go away. The child never gets treated. So this is one thing which you have to look out for. Now this is hypothyroidism. Now both hypothyroidism and Hurler's will have delayed development, they'll have post species, they will look alike. So it's up to us to say this is hypothyroidism, you can go and treat this child. So always look at the ilium first before you come to any conclusion. Always look at the pelvis. So hypothyroidism is one condition that we'll always have to look out for. See, in hypothyroidism there will be delayed development of the epiphysis. Okay? See, this is quite a, this child is 11 months old. By 11 months you must get a little bit of the upper femoral. That has not come. And you see the lower femoral is so small like a newborn child. So this is feature of hypothyroidism. And if it appears later, see this child is 12 years old. The epiphysis has appeared and when it eventually appears, it will be very dysplastic. It will be fragmented bits and pieces of it. It won't be normal. So this is hypothyroidism. This is another very peculiar condition, very peculiar ilium. You will not get in any other condition. Is it does have a little bit of MPS look, you know. You see the lower part of the ilium, though it is not that narrow, it is sort of tapering. But if you look at the upper ilium, upper border, you can see a sort of lacy appearance. Can you see this lacy appearance? You can see this lacy appearance. This child also has all the vertebrae are flattened. So you must not mistake it for mucopolysaccharidosis because of this lacy pattern. This lacy pattern is seen only in this condition. Degree Melchior Clausen. These children have severe psychomotor retardation, developmental delay, and they have very difficult walking. They have a lot of problems. But there's another thing like Degree Melchior Clausen, because here also you can see this lacy pattern here. Lacy pattern here. But this child was normal. You can also see some flattening of the vertebrae. But this child was normal, did not have any mental retardation, did not have any motor development delay. So this is just Smith-McCort syndrome. This is a different genetic location, but nearby. This is Smith-McCort syndrome. So if they're quite normal looking children, you can diagnose this.
Quite normal looking children.
Now there's just some conditions I told you which you can diagnose only with the pelvis. Just one pelvis will do. Here again, you see here, this upper part of the ilium is sort of drooping down. You can see the anterior inferior iliac spine here. It is so low down. And you see that the acetabulum is flattened. This is the case of Down syndrome. Of course, you can see the child and diagnose Downs, but this is a feature of Down syndrome. Now I told this, dense bones are very easy to find out, no? Very easy to make out that it's dense. There's no corticomedullary differentiation, it's just white bones. So what is this? Osteopetrosis. The dense bone is very easy to diagnose. The only other thing is pycnodysostoses and fluorosis. Fluorosis, of course, you will see ligamental calcification. So the other one is pycnodysostoses, where you will have acro-osteolysis. In osteopetrosis, the terminal phalanges are all intact. So this is pycnodysostoses, and you see another feature of pycnodysostoses is in osteopetrosis, the angle of the mandible is normal, it is maintained. Here it gets very obtuse. See? It gets very obtuse. Another dense bones, rarer than pycno. You see here, it's quite obvious it's dense bones, but look at the widened metaphysis. Look at the flattening of the vertebrae, which you won't see in osteopetrosis. This is dysosteosclerosis. Dysosteosclerosis. They will have some mental delay also. Another feature is, see, at birth itself, we have all the teeth. Only thing they haven't erupted. You will have milk teeth, you will have permanent teeth, everything will be there. Here you see, only some are there, and even if they are there, they will be delayed in eruption, and even if they eventually erupt, they will be dysplastic. These children also suffer from encroachment neuropathy. Now we come to osteoporosis, which is a little tricky. See, this is just normal for you to compare. So this is,
Why?
yes, the first thing that's right is osteogenesis imperfecta. So here you see that the bones are bent, they are having fractures, they're so badly bent. But look at the ribs. Now you have to look at the ribs where there is no fracture. And you will see that it is normal in thickness, normal in density. Here also you see here, you see good cortex, normal in density. So where there are no fractures, you must always see the bone. And since the bone is normal in between the fractures, you must think of battered baby syndrome. Now we do not want to call OI as battered baby syndrome because the child, that will give a lot of problems to the parents. We cannot call battered baby OI and say take the child and go home. So it's very important for you to make this distinction. See, look at the osteogenesis imperfecta ribs. They're so thin and gracile. They'll be very thin. Another thing that you will look for is also fibula. Fibula you'll see is very thin in osteogenesis imperfecta. So if you see lots of fractures, always think of, before you make a conclusion, you always have to look at all the bones, especially the ribs. See here the ribs, they're so thin. Here there are lots of fractures, but where there are no fractures, the ribs are quite good. Good thickness, good density. This is an older child with osteogenesis imperfecta. I mean, of course, there are many types. So you see here, look at the fibula. Look at the ribs, they're all so thin. This is also the osteogenesis imperfecta. This, again you see, there is osteoporosis. This child will come with crumbling bones, they will cry on handling, they'll have a lot of pain. But if you look at the metaphysis, there's a nice box-shaped defect. If you see a box-shaped defect like this, you must think of hypophosphatation. Again, with osteogenesis imperfecta, the metaphysis will look normal. The shape will be normal. So here there will be some defects in the metaphysis. Same thing, upper humerus also will show a defect in the metaphysis. This is an older child with hypophosphatation. Just for looking, it looks like maybe this is gross rickets. But if you see here, for rickets, the facial widening should be there. Here, there are defects in the metaphysis. Look here, it's sort of eaten up here. There are defects in the metaphysis. So this is hypophosphatation. Look at this. These bones are so porotic, they are almost crumbling. But if you look here, look at the facial widening. See, the distance between the epiphysis and metaphysis is so wide. So this is rickets. This is gross rickets. See what can happen now. Gross rickets causing extreme osteoporosis. This is another child. See, you see here, this is osteogenesis imperfecta. Here, the bones are thickened in the center because of callus formation. Here, the bones are thickened because of lack of modeling. This is called osteoectasia or juvenile Paget's. So just like Paget's disease, they will also have a lot of bone pain. They will cry, and for that calcitonin is given. So here, this is called osteoectasia or juvenile Paget's. The same child with osteoectasia, and you see that even the other bones will show this lack of narrowing of the diaphragms. Now here also I was saying the lack of modeling, lack of narrowing of the diaphysis. Here also you see the diaphysis is wide. Isn't the diaphysis wide? Now why is it wide? You see a lot of periosteal reaction, right? You see a lot of periosteal reaction. So because of that the bone is appearing wide. This is mucolipidosis. Mucolipidosis. The pelvis ilium non be normal. But if you see, that is why we stress on the pelvis X-ray, which will include also the femur. So you will get to see the long bones also. So when you see thickened bones at the expense of periosteal reaction, you must think of mucolipidosis. Now, could it be syphilis? Because again, I always keep doing, you must not write off a treatable condition as dysphagia and send the child home. Could it be syphilis? Because syphilis also you will have exuberant periosteal reaction. Quite a lot of periosteal reaction. But when there is so much of periosteal reaction, you must always have some metaphysitis also. See, the metaphysitis is showing a lot of lytic lesions. And here there's also the Wimberger sign is usually seen here. Here you see one large punched out defect here. Bit of the cortex is just lying separate from the main bone. So this is congenital syphilis, which is treated. The child will be okay, the child will be fine. This is mucolipidosis. Now I said we always start from the pelvis, and you always start from the pelvis. This child has come for short stature, some mild dysmorphic facies, so they have taken this X-ray. And if you see here, you can see, look at the metaphysis, it's sort of fragmented. No? Medial part is fragmented. This is normal. You see here, can you make out? One little bit is lying separately. Okay? This is Schmidt type of metaphyseal dysplasia. Here only the lower limbs will show this sort of change, upper limbs will be okay. Here also you see there's one fragmentation of the medial metaphysis, and you see that the epiphysis is large and round. The ilium is normal. You see large round epiphysis and this fragmentation. This is Schmidt type of metaphyseal dysplasia. Now this is a little rare. What we see is, you see that the upper limbs are quite okay, very mild changes. Now what we see is, commonly metaphyseal dysplasia is referred as rickets, because they will also have widening of the wrist. Costochondral junctions will be bulbous. So this may be referred as rickets. See, this is normal for you to compare. And here you see there is something like facial widening, right? And the child will be referred as rickets. But if you see here, you see the upper end of the tibia. Is this showing any facial widening? Yes or no? No, yes or no? No, there is no facial widening. Now rickets means all the bones have to be involved. So it's a general disease. If you see only some facial widening in some bones, not all bones are involved, then you must think of metaphyseal dysplasia. Now why you have to make this differentiation is because they go on pumping the child with vitamin D, and this is not going to become alright. And then in fact vitamin D intoxication symptoms will come up. So you have to be careful before you diagnose anything like metaphyseal dysplasia. So this is just for you to compare. You see here the upper end of the tibia is normal, only the lower end of the femur is involved, and here you see that all the bones are involved. So this is rickets, this is only metaphyseal dysplasia. And even you see only some bones will be involved in metaphyseal dysplasia. See this hand is normal. Here both hands are showing widening of the physis. Again I told you the anterior ends of the ribs will be bulbous. But you look at the physeal widening. See here, there is no physeal widening here. This is only metaphyseal dysplasia. Here there is physeal widening, so this is rickets. See, this child has come only for bronchopneumonia, but a routine X-ray of the chest, you should be able to pick out rickets so that you treat the child wholly. This is enlarged, very widened metaphyseal. This is one metaphyseal dysplasia, Pile's disease. Okay, and this one, this is just normal. This one, diaphyseal dysplasia. See, diaphysis is so much thickened. This one, spotter. Chondrodysplasia punctata. See, the epiphysis is just showing lots of punctate calcifications. Now, as a child grows up, these sort of punctate appearances will disappear. But still, I keep telling you, you have to see the pelvis X-ray to diagnose dysplasia. So, if you see here, you see there's no punctate calcifications at all. But if you look at both the upper femur, they seem to be sticking out laterally. Now, this picture you will see only in chondrodysplasia punctata. Even when there is no punctate calcifications, you can still diagnose chondrodysplasia punctata by just looking at the pelvis X-ray. That's why we keep telling you to see the pelvic X-ray. Here you see some punctate calcifications even in the cartilages. This one. What is this? Yes, look at here there are clavicles are there, here there are no clavicles at all. But I said dysplasia you must see start from the pelvis, right? So, what features the pelvis? See here, the pubic bones are not seen. It's not that they are not there, they have not yet ossified. So this sort of delayed ossification of the pubic bones is also a feature of. Here you see that the pubic bones are there, just pubic diastasis or rather ectopia vesicae, that is why the pubic bones are so widely spaced. So with the pelvis, you can come to a diagnosis of most of the common dysplasias. So what the mind knows only, you will be able to see. So just as the face is the index of the mind, the pelvis X-ray is the index of skeletal dysplasias. Thank you.